There are moments in life when certain individuals appear untouchable, as if every step they take is calculated to perfection and every move they make is shielded from failure. They operate under the assumption that cleverness alone ensures victory, believing that their schemes and strategies cannot be anticipated. Yet, there are those who possess a natural alignment with insight and foresight, a kind of awareness that cannot be deceived. These individuals move quietly and deliberately, guided by principles that transcend mere strategy or manipulation. They do not seek recognition or dominance, but their clarity allows them to navigate complexities with precision. When the so-called masters of schemes confront the limits of their understanding, they are met with an unexpected revelation. Their cleverness has been anticipated, their plans surpassed without struggle. This realization is not born of malice or rivalry. It is the natural result of wisdom applied consistently. The shock experienced is profound because it reveals a truth many overlook, that intelligence alone is insufficient when it is not accompanied by discernment, patience, and a sense of purpose. Those who believe they are always ahead must confront the humility of being outsmarted, not by brute force or trickery, but by insight that is patient, steady, and inevitable. Timing plays a crucial role in these moments of revelation. Some believe that control is achieved through urgency, through constant action, or by forcing outcomes to fit personal advantage. Yet, the individuals who operate from deep insight understand the rhythm of events, moving with patience and awareness. Their steps, though subtle, are deliberate, ensuring that the unfolding of circumstances aligns perfectly with outcomes that must happen. Those who attempt to manipulate or dominate may feel confident at first, unaware that their actions are being observed and anticipated. When the moment arrives, it becomes undeniable. The outcomes they sought to influence have already been accounted for and navigated by those who are truly prepared. This creates a striking contrast between forced cleverness and natural foresight. The ones who are outmaneuvered often experience a profound humility, recognizing that their perceived advantage was never real. Insight operates in silence and steadiness, making its impact total when revealed. What may appear as luck or coincidence to an observer is actually the careful and measured influence of individuals who understand the deeper currents of life, whose actions are guided not by self-interest alone, but by clarity of purpose and unwavering discernment. Resilience and composure are also defining traits of those who are inherently aligned with insight. While others expend energy on schemes, distractions, or short-term victories, the chosen individuals maintain focus, acting from a foundation of principle and understanding. They do not react impulsively to challenges or threats, nor do they expend unnecessary energy on proving themselves. Instead, they anticipate outcomes and respond strategically, often in ways that are subtle but decisive. When others falter or exhaust themselves in fruitless attempts to manipulate circumstances, the calm and steady ones remain unshaken, creating outcomes that are both inevitable and striking in their precision. The realization that one has been outsmarted becomes total when the methods of deception or calculation collapse against patience, clarity, and steadfast focus. This is not merely a lesson in strategy, it is a demonstration that intelligence, when combined with purpose, insight, and resilience, produces results that cannot be contested. Humiliation for those who believe they were untouchable is not inflicted deliberately, but is a natural consequence of underestimating the power of consistent, thoughtful action. In these moments, the quiet brilliance of the aligned individual becomes evident, showing that true mastery lies in understanding, patience, and the ability to move decisively without haste, ego, or distraction. Timing is an extraordinary force that governs the unfolding of life's events, though many fail to recognize its influence. Some individuals operate under the illusion that control is absolute, that outcomes can be forced, and that circumstances bend to the will of persistence or cunning. They act hastily, attempting to orchestrate every detail, believing that cleverness alone ensures success. Yet there are those who move in synchrony with a deeper rhythm, guided by an innate sense of timing that transcends planning and manipulation. Their actions are deliberate, each step measured and placed with precision, allowing opportunities to align perfectly with the natural unfolding of events. When these individuals act, their impact is often subtle yet inevitable, revealing that the true mastery of life is not in forcing outcomes, but in recognizing the exact moment to move. The difference between them and those who try to dominate is striking. While one expends energy and experiences frustration, the other accomplishes with grace and quiet certainty, demonstrating that patience, awareness, and precise timing are forms of intelligence that cannot be replicated by sheer effort or arrogance. Those who underestimate the power of timing often fail to notice the subtle signals that precede crucial moments. The prepared individual observes patterns, discerns cycles, and anticipates shifts that others dismiss as trivial or irrelevant. In doing so, they create an invisible advantage, acting in ways that appear effortless, yet are deeply calculated in their foresight. For those who rely solely on cleverness and manipulation, the revelation of being outmaneuvered is sudden and humbling. They encounter outcomes they thought impossible to prevent, only to realize that every move they made had been anticipated and countered through insight rather than force. This is not merely a contest of intelligence. It is the demonstration of a profound awareness that combines observation, patience, and strategic action. The shock and total humiliation experienced by those who are outsmarted serve as a testament to the power of timing and preparation, showing that influence is strongest when it flows in harmony with the natural order of events, rather than attempting to impose itself against it. The elegance of precise timing lies in its quiet efficacy. Those aligned with this principle do not boast or seek to draw attention to their awareness. Their effectiveness is revealed only in the results. In contrast, those who manipulate often believe their visibility and control are sufficient to ensure success, not realizing that their actions have been anticipated long before they occur. When outcomes favor the prepared, it appears sudden to observers, yet it is the result of careful observation, patient restraint, and deliberate execution. The resulting recognition is transformative. It exposes the limitations of arrogance, impatience, and overconfidence, highlighting that influence is not measured by force or cunning, but by the ability to act decisively at the right moment. For those who are outsmarted, the experience is total humiliation, yet it also presents an undeniable truth. Mastery belongs not to those who act the fastest or loudest, but to those who act in perfect alignment with timing, awareness, and deliberate insight, ensuring that their impact is inevitable, precise, and beyond challenge. Resilience is a defining mark of those who are truly aligned with purpose and insight. While others expend energy on schemes, distractions, and short-term victories, these individuals focus on consistency, integrity, and enduring values. Life constantly presents challenges, and many who rely solely on cunning or manipulation falter when faced with obstacles that cannot be controlled. Those chosen to navigate beyond superficial cleverness approach every difficulty with steadiness, patience, and strategic awareness. Their actions are not impulsive or reactive, but deliberate and guided by a sense of timing and clarity. In moments where others stumble, lose composure, or exhaust themselves in futile efforts, these individuals maintain calm and purpose, allowing the natural course of events to unfold in alignment with their insight. The surprise of being outsmarted is profound for those who believed themselves invincible, because they encounter not opposition through aggression, but the quiet, decisive mastery of resilience and unwavering focus. It is through this steadiness that they achieve outcomes that seem inevitable, revealing a truth often overlooked. True strength is measured not by manipulation or the appearance of intelligence, but by the ability to endure, adapt, and act with clarity under pressure. Those who underestimate the power of resilience often fail to recognize the subtle influence it exerts. The prepared individual observes, adapts, and responds without panic, while those who rely solely on schemes attempt to force outcomes, often compounding their mistakes. When failure occurs, it is not merely a reflection of circumstance, but a revelation of inherent differences in approach and mindset. Those who are truly aligned understand that consistent effort, patience, and adherence to principle yield results that cunning alone cannot achieve. The humiliation experienced by the outsmarted is total because it highlights the fragility of plans built solely on cleverness, ego, or manipulation. It exposes the limits of impulsive action against the steady application of foresight and resilience. In these moments, the contrast between fleeting cunning and enduring insight is unmistakable, reinforcing that life ultimately favors those who maintain composure, remain purposeful, and approach challenges with disciplined observation and patience, rather than reacting with desperation or overconfidence. Resilience is inseparable from strategic foresight. The chosen individuals operate with awareness that extends beyond immediate appearances, anticipating challenges and preparing responses in advance. While others are reactive, attempting to impose control on outcomes that have already been accounted for by the prepared, these individuals maintain a calm confidence that amplifies their effectiveness. When the unprepared confront the consequences of their actions, they experience not just surprise, but total humiliation, forced to acknowledge that the quiet, measured approach is far superior to hasty manipulation. The lesson is profound. Intelligence without resilience and composure is incomplete, while insight combined with patience and persistence produces results that are unshakable. The seemingly effortless triumph of those who endure is a testament to the power of consistent focus, moral clarity, and strategic anticipation, leaving no room for doubt about who truly holds influence and foresight. Observation is one of the most powerful tools available to those who move with insight and purpose. While some spend their energy projecting dominance or attempting to control every outcome, the truly perceptive watch quietly, taking note of patterns, behaviors, and subtle shifts that others overlook. They understand that influence is not measured by visibility or noise, but by the ability to anticipate and respond with precision. Those who rely solely on manipulation often fail to recognize the depth of awareness directed toward them until it is too late. Every action, every move, and every plan they enact is met with thoughtful observation, allowing the perceptive to act decisively and with timing that seems uncanny. The impact of this ability becomes fully evident when the unprepared confront outcomes they could not foresee. The realization is not merely that they have failed, but that their efforts were anticipated, carefully countered, and surpassed by individuals who understand how to see beyond the immediate and into the structure of unfolding events. Humiliation is total in such moments, not because of malice, but because intelligence and foresight, when paired with patient observation, inevitably outmatch short-term cunning. The process of observation requires patience, clarity, and a deliberate detachment from impulsive reaction. Those who are aligned with insight do not act on every provocation or attempt at manipulation. Instead, they watch, measure, and analyze, gathering understanding that informs their eventual precise response. This creates a silent advantage, invisible to those who assume their schemes are undetectable. By the time action is taken, the outcome has already been mapped, and the choices available to the outsmarted are limited. The experience is both humbling and instructive. It reveals that apparent control is fragile when measured against the deliberate application of attention, discernment, and timing. The revelation for those who believe themselves superior is stark, as they encounter a force that cannot be seen but is undeniable in its effect. The totality of being outsmarted comes not from chance, but from the quiet mastery of observation, showing that influence is earned through vigilance, awareness, and an understanding of the patterns that govern human action. Observation also serves as a foundation for strategic action. The perceptive individual uses insight to anticipate moves before they occur, navigating challenges with a calm confidence that appears effortless. In contrast, those who attempt to manipulate without understanding are forced into reactive positions, making errors that reveal their limitations. The humiliation experienced by the unprepared is amplified because it is both sudden and inescapable. They realize that every maneuver has been anticipated and every intention understood. This demonstrates a profound truth. Visibility and dominance cannot substitute for awareness, patience, and insight. Those who master observation achieve results that are precise, decisive, and inevitable. The lesson is clear. The most enduring advantage lies in the ability to see, understand, and act with intelligence that is quiet but unyielding, leaving no room for doubt about who truly holds influence and foresight in any situation. Justice and fairness are forces that operate quietly but with certainty, shaping outcomes even when they seem distant or delayed. Many believe that manipulation, cunning, or sheer force can circumvent accountability, creating the illusion that actions can remain unchecked. Yet, those aligned with higher insight understand that outcomes are guided by principles far beyond superficial calculation. When individuals act with integrity and clarity, even in small ways, they contribute to a natural balance that eventually asserts itself. Those who attempt to bend circumstances to their will often find that the moment they expect to succeed is precisely the moment when the truth of their position is revealed. The surprise and total humiliation they experience is not incidental. It is the natural consequence of the alignment of foresight, purpose, and the inevitability of fairness. In this way, the prepared individuals operate not with malice or intent to punish, but with awareness that ethical consistency and strategic action inevitably expose weakness and arrogance in those who rely on manipulation alone. The lesson is clear. Integrity combined with insight produces results that cunning cannot match, and those who attempt to circumvent natural balance are always confronted with the reality of their limitations. Those who underestimate this principle often fail to see that fairness does not need to act loudly to be effective. While they exert energy on schemes and strategies designed to create advantage, the aligned individual navigates situations with quiet assurance, allowing outcomes to unfold in ways that seem effortless, yet are precise and unavoidable. Their actions reflect a deep understanding that true influence is earned through consistent alignment with principle rather than through attempts to dominate or deceive. When the unprepared encounter the results of such foresight, the realization is humbling. What appeared unpredictable or fortunate is actually the product of deliberate strategy and unshakable clarity. The total humiliation they experience comes from confronting the limits of arrogance and overconfidence, recognizing that cleverness alone is insufficient when faced with consistent insight and ethical resolve. In essence, fairness and justice are forces that operate invisibly, yet they are unstoppable when guided by intelligence, patience, and adherence to enduring values. The power of justice and fairness is amplified when combined with strategic insight. The prepared individual acts with patience, anticipating the moves of others and ensuring that actions taken align with both principle and timing. This creates a situation in which those who attempt manipulation find themselves unable to achieve their objectives, as every action has already been accounted for. The resulting recognition is transformative. It exposes the fragility of power built solely on cunning, impatience, or ego, while highlighting the invincibility of those who operate with awareness and ethical consistency. The total humiliation of the unprepared is not a goal, but a natural outcome of failing to respect the forces of fairness and foresight. It becomes clear that influence is strongest not in domination, but in alignment with principles that endure beyond immediate circumstances, proving that strategic insight guided by integrity always prevails. Strategy without a moral foundation is inherently fragile. Many who pride themselves on manipulation, cleverness, or short-term advantage fail to recognize that intelligence alone cannot sustain influence or success over time. The chosen individuals, however, operate with clarity of vision and a deep understanding of the principles that guide enduring outcomes. Every decision they make is informed by foresight, integrity, and a sense of purpose that transcends immediate gain. Their actions are deliberate and precise, ensuring that consequences are accounted for and opportunities are maximized. Those who attempt to outmaneuver them discover too late that cleverness alone is insufficient. The shock they experience is not born of chance, but of encountering a level of insight that is steady, deliberate, and unwavering. Humiliation is total because it reveals a profound truth. While strategy without principle can create temporary advantage, true mastery and long-term success arise only when intelligence is anchored in ethical understanding, patience, and foresight. This principle demonstrates that lasting influence is earned not through manipulation, but through the deliberate alignment of action with enduring values and clarity of purpose. Those who underestimate this truth often operate under the illusion that visibility, influence, or cunning alone equates to control. They fail to recognize the quiet power of calculated, ethical action and the subtle intelligence that underpins true mastery. The chosen individuals do not need to boast, intimidate, or rush decisions. Instead, they rely on preparation, observation, and a disciplined understanding of timing and consequence. Every move they make is strategic, ensuring that outcomes align with foresight rather than improvisation. When the outsmarted confront the results of such careful planning, their realization is both sudden and total. The gap between superficial cleverness and true strategic insight becomes undeniable. The total humiliation they face is not inflicted through aggression, but through the unavoidable consequences of underestimating the power of deliberate, principled intelligence. It is a clear demonstration that fleeting advantage cannot overcome preparation grounded in wisdom and integrity. The strength of strategic action anchored in principle is amplified by consistency and foresight. Those who are aligned with insight anticipate challenges, assess patterns, and act decisively when the moment is right. Their victories appear effortless, not because they are lucky, but because every step has been thoughtfully calculated. In contrast, those who rely solely on cunning are forced into reactive positions, making errors that expose their overconfidence and short-sightedness. The humiliation they experience is profound, as it underscores the limits of intellect unanchored to moral clarity and long-term vision. In these moments, it becomes clear that true mastery is not defined by manipulation or speed, but by insight, patience, and adherence to enduring principles. The chosen demonstrate that intelligence, when combined with ethics, strategic foresight, and disciplined execution, produces outcomes that cannot be contested, leaving those who attempted to outsmart them in complete and undeniable defeat. Confidence rooted in wisdom and foresight is unshakable, even in the face of deception or attempts at manipulation. Some believe that dominance and control come from boldness, loud action, or constant assertion, but true influence arises quietly, through preparation, clarity, and strategic awareness. Those chosen for higher insight do not need to announce their capabilities. Their presence alone signals readiness, composure, and inevitability. When others attempt to manipulate circumstances or project superiority, they are unknowingly measured against a standard that is calm, deliberate, and invisible until revealed. The moment of revelation is profound. Those who believed themselves untouchable encounter a force that is not aggressive, yet cannot be challenged. The total humiliation experienced in such situations stems not from confrontation, but from the undeniable realization that quiet, deliberate intelligence surpasses the visible, superficial confidence of those who rely solely on bravado. This demonstrates that true authority is not about making noise or forcing outcomes, but about understanding situations deeply, anticipating moves, and acting with foresight that cannot be predicted or outmaneuvered. Preparation and awareness amplify the impact of this confidence. Those who possess foresight and clarity observe, learn, and calculate before taking action. Unlike the impulsive or overconfident, they anticipate outcomes and respond decisively when the moment is right. Every subtle observation, every patient pause, and every deliberate decision builds an invisible advantage, creating a situation in which their effectiveness is undeniable when revealed. For those who attempt to control, dominate, or deceive, the impact is total. They realize that their perceived superiority was an illusion, and that the quiet intelligence guiding events has rendered their efforts ineffective. The humbling experience of being outsmarted in this way underscores a vital truth. Authority and mastery do not require loudness or force, but arise from clarity, insight, and the unshakable ability to navigate complexity with composure and precision. The ultimate lesson is that presence, intelligence, and preparation are more powerful than any attempt at manipulation or intimidation. The chosen individuals operate with calm assurance, acting at the right moment and with the right intention. Their confidence is not born of ego but of knowledge, experience, and strategic awareness. Those who attempt to oppose them find themselves outmatched, not by overt confrontation, but by a level of insight that cannot be forced, predicted, or undermined. Total humiliation for the unprepared follows naturally as their strategies crumble against patience, foresight, and deliberate action. This reveals that genuine mastery is quiet, yet absolute, rooted in the ability to act decisively and effectively without the need for spectacle or dominance. Influence is earned through awareness, composure, and readiness, showing that the most powerful individuals are those who combine insight with calm, strategic confidence.